Good morning, community. Jill here with North Texas Vegetable Gardening Canning Recipes, a little bit of everything. We are 31 degrees this morning. It looks like we're going to pull out of the deep freeze today, maybe get up to around 47 or 48. The sun is supposed to be out, and you can see it is rising. That is to the southeast of us, and I know they're getting a little bit of frozen precip, but I think we're on the big thaw. Okay, guys, so yes, it was quite brisk this morning, but it wasn't as cold as it has been in the morning. It was 31 degrees. Jill here with North Texas Vegetable Gardening Canning Recipes, a little bit of everything. Today is up potting day for some of our plants. So we're gonna get started on some of the tomato plants that we have over here and get them into some 4-inch or 3-inch or 4-inch pots and get them ready for our plant sale and also for us to plant. We always start in the seed trays because they get a better root ball and they go up faster, and then once we put them in the pot, then they start to really take off. So that's what we're doing today. So one thing I'm waiting on is for our soil to warm up a little bit, because our potting soil was outside on the back porch, and with the freezing temps, it's very, very cold, so I need for that soil to warm up. I don't want to put any of my seedlings in that cold soil. That wouldn't be a good idea, because they are acclimated to the warm soil because of the seed mats and the environment we've been growing them in. It's getting warm in this big high tunnel. It's probably about 75, 80 degrees. So as the day progresses, it's going to get quite warm in here. And we do not look to get below freezing for at least the next 7 to 10 days. We're going to be in the 40s at night and the 70s during the day. So these high tunnels are going to get quite warm. We'll have to pay attention to our seedlings because we don't want them to dry out, because they will dry out very quickly in here with the heat and how hot it gets in here. So when you're thinking about planting your seeds, you want to make sure you understand where they come from and their genetics. So you hear me talk a lot about our seeds that we are using here, especially the Paramount and the blueberry cherry, the brownberry cherry. We try to save our own seeds because we want to guard the genetics of our seeds, because there is something called memory in your seeds, or seed memory. It's called epigenetics. And what that means is that your seeds can retain some memory from where they were grown prior. They can also retain memory from what was in the soil, what they were fed. And so we're very, very particular with where we get our seeds and how we grow them, because we want to give good memories to our seeds. We don't want bad memories in our seeds, because what can happen is if we start some seeds in maybe some commercial potting soil or commercial seed starting soil that has some commercial fertilizers in it, then those seeds, the fruit that they generate, and then we harvest the seeds, they can maintain the memory of what they were started in and what they were grown in. And where you might run into issues is we grow all organic heirloom varieties, and where you might run into issues is your plant will grow maybe, and then if you get any kind of insects, start to get some insect damage or some nutrient deficiencies or fertilizing issues or feeding. If your seeds came from plants that were using commercially grown soils and commercial type fertilizers, then you might not be able to battle that insect damage or those diseases or those funguses with organic methods, because they are going to want to be fed, or they want to use the commercial stuff that they were raised in. So I mean, it makes perfect sense. I liken it to our bodies, our seeds to our bodies. The soil has to be good to get good fruit. The same for us, for our children and stuff. They will take on a lot of our genetic availability that's in our bodies whenever we have our children and whenever we are carrying our children. So you want to make sure that if you are growing organic, that you want to make sure that your seeds are organic and non-GMO, of course, heirloom varieties, to make sure that you know that your seed has good memories, so that whenever it starts to grow, and if you're growing organically, you can treat it organically and use organic methods to battle whatever it is that's trying to attack your plant. So a couple of years back, Greg started growing using the regenerative methods. Many of you know that because you've been watching us for a while. And so our raised beds were converted very quickly because it was a small space. Trying to convert a larger area takes some time with your cover cropping and making sure that when you feed it, its nutrients, your minerals like maybe magnesium and potassium and stuff like that. You want to make sure that your soil has all these natural, I guess, supplements to it, and not use something that's been hyped up with chemicals. And we want living soil because we want our fruit from our plants to be our medicine, and that's what Greg does. He grows our vegetables as medicine, and he's been doing that now for a couple of years. That where we get the correct nutritional value, and the nutrients and the minerals and the vitamins that we really should be getting from them that you might not can get from commercially grown vegetables and stuff. I'm not saying you can't, I'm just saying that you might not can't. We want to make sure that our soil is a living soil, and that in turn it is going to feed our plants and our fruits that come off of our plants the nutrition that it needs, so that when we consume it in our bodies, we get the nutrition that we need. So if you want to grow like we grow, you want to make sure and not use any of the commercial potting soils, the commercial seed starting mixtures. You want to find you a good organic potting soil that does not have any added nitrates, stuff like that, commercially to your soils, because your plants will only thrive once you feed them that. Greg says they're crack addicts. If you grow your plants in commercially available, or where I'm trying to get your fertilizers were commercial fertilizers, nitrates, then that's the only thing that your plants are going to thrive off of, and you'll have to continue feeding them whatever it was that was in your potting soil and your seed starting mixture. Again, they may thrive if you try to do organic, but then you're already setting some kind of memory into your seed. And if you plan on using your seeds like we do year after year, you want to make sure and guard them and with what you're planting them in, and what you're starting them in, and what you're feeding them. My soil's starting to warm up, so I've got some of these seed starting trays spread out so they'll warm up a little bit quicker. And then I'll start doing my 3-inch pots for some of my other ones. But these, I'm going to start some sunflower seeds in these today because I love sunflowers. So I just want to make sure that this soil is warm, because you don't want something that is a warm weathered plant and put it into some cold soil, because it probably will not germinate. They like ground temperature, and you may see that whenever you start to plant, that certain varieties need your soil temperature to be 65 degrees or above, something like that. So these are our herbs, and all of these came from our seeds, came from our plants in the last 2 years. And so we are really, this will be the 3rd year that we have them here on the farm. And so each year they get a little bit better, and they get a little bit more acclimated to our environment here. And you can see that they are thriving quite well, even though we have been in these frigid temps. There were times when the plastic was pulled down here that Greg said it was about 90 degrees underneath these plastic tents. Now, I don't know what it was during the night, but if we don't come out here and uncover them, as soon as the sun comes up, it gets very, very hot in there because it gets very warm in here. So we have to be sure and get them uncovered as quickly as possible when that sun comes up and starts to warm this big high tunnel up. Okay, guys, it's now Sunday morning. These are some of the transplants we got done yesterday. It looks like they did just fine overnight, and they're going to perk up even more this week with this warm weather. It's a little chilly this morning, about 40 degrees, but it's warmer in this high tunnel, probably about 50. So we'll be up potting more today. Stay tuned. Got a little rain this morning. Whew. So it's starting to warm up. Pop and I are getting ready to start up potting today. So be sure and hit that subscribe button if you're new to our channel, guys. Give us a thumbs up. We'll be busy in the coming weeks. We love you all. Take care. God bless.